Welcome back to Focus on B, the single-part video series where we take a look at a game that might not be great for a Let's Play in my opinion, but still has a lot of qualities I want to talk about, and this is Hotline Miami. It was about time that I did a video on this game. As you can tell by the wide aspect ratio, this is actually the updated version. Originally the game ran at only 4:3 or some weird aspect ratio that wasn't quite 16:9. Yeah, okay, this is the more updated version. Generally, I'm not sure if it's like the definitive way to play it. I'm not sure if it has any like maybe additional bugs or something like that. Sometimes it happens with those kind of versions, but hey, it looks a bit better for this kind of video, so I'm going to be playing this one. So what kind of game is this? Well, it's a top-down, ultra-violence, this game. Fuck, I'm dead. Okay, do it again. It's actually not that difficult though, you know? I've been playing it, and I found that, I mean, I suck dick at it, but it's not the kind of game that is as punishing. I mean, for one, you're not really that punished when you die. You reset very, very quickly, and it's all about observation and knowing when to strike. It's not just about being very fast and loud. I mean, it's fun to do that, as you can see, but it's also important to pay attention to stuff like windows. As you can see right here, there's no window, so this is an early game stage. I don't want to showcase too much of the later half of the game because, I mean, it's not a super story-heavy game, but it does have a lot of interesting scenarios, which I don't want to, you know, reveal too soon because, you know, some people have described this game as almost like an action puzzler, like the great TV, R.I.P. But you know, I mean, he was kind of right, to be honest, really, because you can't just run in like a fucking idiot. This game is almost like a top-down, more aggressive version of Sniper Elite, if you think about it. So you know Sniper Elite. I've actually never played that game, but I've seen quite a bit of it, and the impression I get from it is that it's the kind of game where you really have to play to the strengths of what you are. In that game's case, a sniper, right? As in, you suck at close quarters, because you really do. Like, your guy in that game cannot defend himself at all. Same thing here, you're very aggressive, very fast, but not invincible. I mean, for one, you die very, very quickly. Not instantly. A lot of people think it's a one-hit kill system. It's actually not. With melee, it is. But with projectiles, I swear to God, I've been grazed by several bullets and still survived it. Right? You also want to be careful about how much noise you make, because enemies, well, the enemies in this game are kind of dumb, but they're also very aggressive. Once they hear you, they will just storm in. Oh, nice, we cleared it. They'll storm in and just try to fucking wipe you out, right? Except that it's easy to sort of trick them by, like, you know, baiting them out. Like, oh, hey, come on, get over here, and I got shot. Okay, maybe don't do that. You also have this very handy lock-on system, which I don't use too often because it's middle mouse click by default, and I don't think you can change it. And I'm not a huge fan of clicking in my mouse wheel. I don't know why I have like this weird mechanical superstition where, like, see, that applies to him too. My bullets just grazed him. But yeah, I have this weird thing where I feel like if I click it too often, it'll break it or something. Well, I've been using this mouse for I don't even know how long, and it still works 100% of the time. Never missed an input. Never felt imprecise. And it wasn't even like a super expensive mouse. Like, it literally came with like it came with the keyboard. You know what I mean? It was like a combo thing, like a blood hand. Tech. I'm looking at the bottom of my mouse right now. Bloody.com. Tech. Ultimate gaming gear. The whole thing was like $50 or something. It was not super expensive for both a mouse and a keyboard. And the mouse is amazing. The keyboard's fine. You know, not clicky, but at least it's reliable. You know, I've had this other Cougar keyboard that was a little more expensive, but half the keys have this really stupid thing now where you have to slightly let go for them to act like they've been clicked, and it's dumb as shit, and I just stopped using it. Like, yeah, it's satisfying to click, but when it only clicks every now and then, it's kind of useless. So I went back to this one instead, the one that came with the mouse. Because really that's what it is. Like, the mouse is the real deal here. It's a very good mouse. Sponsor me. No, I'm just kidding. But either way, yeah, back to Hotline Miami. We just cleared this chapter. Oh, okay. So this is when the game basically teaches you that the big dudes right here are practically immune to anything but bullets, and specifically, they are very much weak to the shotgun. Now, you're not at the mercy of finding a shotgun. You can actually take them out using Oh, yeah, look, it's a DeLorean because this game is set in the 80s, don't you know? But you can actually take them out using a, I think you have to talk to, no, what do you do with this guy? Oh, no, you finish him, of course. He's scratching his leg. Come on, finish him. There you go. I put my fingers into his eyes. It's the only thing that's... Fucking hell. Should I really be referencing that? Because I don't actually listen to Slipknot at all. They're weirdly popular, by the way, among the kids, like, in the age group that I teach for some reason. So, like, year 8? I don't know why, honestly. But okay, cool. I mean, early 2000s culture is kind of making that comeback, and I'm totally cool with that. We got these little intermission sequences in the game, and they are very nice. Although I'm gonna be totally skipping this bit, just mash right through. In fact, I mean, you can stop it if you really want to like actually pay attention to the plot. I've never really been too, I guess what's the word? I've never really been too into the kind of plots that are, you know, like set in the 80s, revolve around drug wars and drug stuff, whatever. I mean, that's not exactly what this is. This isn't fucking Narcos or whatever. I remember in high school they made us watch like I think that's what it was called, like Narcos, like the whole series, and it's weird because I had a bunch of stuff that you probably shouldn't be showing a high schooler, but either way, yeah, I've just never found those kind of narratives that interesting. You know, period pieces. I find stuff that's set in the 90s to be a lot more endearing as far as like period, you know, media goes, as in like stuff that's like made recently but it's set in a particular time period, although shit that was actually made in that time period is also great. Yeah, we're gonna keep using George here because this is very handy. Look at how far we can see. You need this, trust me. Observation is key to winning in this game. And I am dead because I don't have the... If you wear the head of this one that looks like a dog, you actually can basically be completely ignored by dogs. You know, they don't attack you at all, which is very handy. Take him out, boom, finishing move. Very fast-paced game, very fun. This video will probably have minimal editing because there's almost no need for it, as... See, look at that. I got grazed by the bullets, but I didn't die. But yeah, because this game is very intense and... Oh, fuck, I'm dead. We're going to try that again. Although, here's a thing that I have with this game that... Well, honestly, it's a common issue I have with pretty much any game that requires repeat gameplay and is quite difficult. It is... I'm not sure what kind of syndrome you would call it, but essentially it's when you keep doing the same thing over and over again to the point where you kind of stop caring and you get actively worse. You know, like the AVGN's video of Ghosts and Goblins, was it, where he talks about how, you know, I know he just said it in like the angry nerd kind of joke kind of way, but there is a little bit of truth to it where it's like you start getting worse at it the more you do it because you just kind of get pissed off at it. You just don't want to do it anymore. And that does unfortunately happen with this game to an extent. This is a very well designed game for the most part, and I rarely fall into any sort of real frustration with it. Like, if I fuck up, it's probably because I wasn't... Ooh! I'm holding him hostage. I completely forgot about that mechanic. I don't even know how I did that, to be honest. Maybe there was a key for it. I don't know. But it happened. But yeah, I very rarely give into frustration because most of the time if I die is because of my lack of... See, look at that. That would have killed me. Now I know. Pick that thing up. That's also empty. Shit. Fuck. Okay, we're gonna have to do it some other way then. Look around. Observation. No windows here, so we can cross. There is a minor stealth element to this game. It's not a stealth game, but you do have to keep your position in mind. See, he can't see me here, but he'll be able to see me if I go like this. There you go. And now they can see. They know I'm there, so let's wipe them out. Oh my god, I actually survived that. I honestly, anytime I do this and I kind of lose track of where I am on the screen, it's pretty much me dead right there. So the fact that I survived that was pretty neat. Get him. Oh, see, it grazed him. Told you, this game's health system is not as one-dimensional as it seems. It's not just you take damage and you're dead instantly. You actually have a bit of a grace amount of damage you can take before you're completely dead. It doesn't really mean much in the long run because you will probably just die instantly anyway, but it is something to keep in mind. See, him right there. I shot him a couple times, yet he didn't die. That's because he was grazed by the bullets, but not necessarily hit by them directly. That's how it works. Let's knock this guy out. Boom, dead. I'm surprised I'm doing as well as I am, considering I have a microphone in my face, and I'm playing this in a window. Generally, this is the kind of game you want to play in full screen. So this is one of the more unique missions, because let me show you what you have to do. Bonk. Shoot that guy. 11 minutes in. I'm just checking, because we got to make sure we keep these a reasonable length, and I don't want to spoil too much of this game, because a lot of this is down to the design of the challenges here. Because you don't want to, if you already know how to do it, it's kind of, again, it's almost like a puzzle. So here's what you do here. I guess, I don't know, skip to whatever part of the video if you don't want to know what to do here. But it's pretty obvious. I'm holding a shotgun. I'm looking in this direction. I'm backing away. Oh, come on. There you go. You get that nice ringing sound. That is actually a really nice touch. Although, actually, that brings me to the sound design that no one really talks about in Hotline Miami. And that's the fact that, you know, oh, actually, you want to aim at this guy first. I feel like there's a disturbing lack of certain sounds in this game. Like, would it have killed the developers, even in the sequel, to add some footsteps? I know it's a small thing, and maybe they were going for that retro thing, but no. This is not a retro game. Like, yes, it has the pixel art style. Sure, but the sounds are all crisp and modern. The music is very much modern. It doesn't sound like something from the 80s. This is some, like, 2010s music. This is not, oh, it's synthwave, Stranger Things. No. This is most definitely modern music, right? And it's got a great vibe to it. Absolutely. And the sequel soundtrack is fantastic, too. But there's something that kind of annoys me, and that's the lack of footsteps. Listen. Yeah, there's nothing to listen to. And that, to me, is just kind of bizarre. This game has a weird absence of sound effects in a lot of different areas, like in the menus, too. Like, for example, right now, when I entered a car, right? Don't you expect, like... some sort of sound, you know, some kind of accent to... some kind of sound effect there. You know, I'm not gonna go ahead and like edit them in myself, but you understand what I'm talking about, that it feels odd not having them there. You know, it's so common for games to have little sounds to accent things happening in the menus. Skip this. I know it's a tiny little thing, and this game is not AAA or anything, but it's a very well-produced game, and come on, it wouldn't have cost $1 billion to add a couple stock sounds, like, you know, some whooshes or whatever, even just record them or make them yourself in some piece of software, you know what I mean? Like, I can make my own sound effects. It's really easy. You just fucking load up a bit of noise, and then you filter it with EQs and stuff, and you get some cool sounds happening, you know? And then you mix that in with some other textures, maybe a little bit of music, like a sting here and there, and, you know, some chords, and you get some cool things. That's how I made the, you know, the intro music to this. Oh, I forgot about these ones. Extra ammo. No, let's just stick with, you know what? Let's go with the walk fast guy, because I like going fast, actually. Ah, damn it. Ugh, fuck. Okay, let's go. Gotta go fast, alright? I've been in a very Sonic-y mood, because, honestly, yeah, X Shadow Generations has genuinely exceeded my expectations. I mean, by now, by the time this video is out, that's old news. I mean, this will probably go up in 25, to be honest. Maybe. Depends on how I've scheduled things, but no, really, I was very impressed by that, you know? It's definitely grown on me in terms of level design. I'm talking about the shadow portion of the game, of course. The main one, you know, is pretty much the same thing. Apparently there's some, like, re-recorded lines, which don't seem to sync up with the original thing. I'm not sure about that. Why would they have to re-record them anyway? I have no idea. I haven't actually watched the cutscenes. I've just heard from other people that that's the case. Because I'm not interested enough to go ahead and actually look into that stuff right now. Either way, what do we have to do here? We got a dog. We got some dudes. So, here's what you do. You find... not this area, because this is instant death right here. Ah, this dude right here. He seems like an easy target, and... okay. That's what was going through his head when he saw me. Of course. I was an easy target. I mean, I'm literally a bunny rabbit, of course. But I do move quite quickly, and I should use that to... oh, wait, I move quickly. You know what that means? I can do that. Yes! There you go, see? You can use the speed to your advantage. And that's what happens when you grew up playing Sonic Heroes. let's try and be very careful with this guy here because he saw me last time and he killed me. But if I can maybe... Yes, you see, I was grazed by the bullet but not killed by it. I told you, there's a bit of a graze system here with the damage in the game. It's not just one shot and you're dead. It's more like 2 shots and you're dead. But that 1 shot difference can make the difference between life and death. You know what I mean? Like, you can survive that. And also, I think it depends on the angle at which you get shot. Come on, I really want to... I'm going to have to knock that guy out with the door and take out the dog. No, that's not going to work. Because the dog will maul my face off. Yes, I told you. So we're going to Gordon Freeman the fuck out of this with a crowbar. Get that? Come on. I would not be surprised if there's actually an achievement that involves killing someone under a certain stipulation using the crowbar, and it's like a reference to Half-Life or something. Damn it, the dogs are so fast. I've forgotten how shitty the dogs are because I've been using the dog guy, you know, the one who isn't attacked by dogs. So, but I decided to choose speed. The speed chose me. Speaking of guys and characters, what about Hotline Miami 2? Shouldn't I think it's the better game? Well, I don't know. I think this is the kind of example where it's really down to the simplicity of the formula, the purity of the design, and the lack of extra stuff. I feel like Hotline Miami 2 really is, like, I do agree, I don't generally agree with Zero punctuation, but I do agree with him that it had a bunch of stuff. And to be fair, there's not much else they could have done. Because, I mean, what else? Really, you don't want to just make the same game a second time, because then it would seem lazy. You can't completely change it, because then it wouldn't be the same. You want to just expand upon what you have. So, you know, Hotline Miami 2 is perfectly good at what it does. I just rather play the original, you know? There's nothing wrong with the game itself. In fact, in some ways, it's better. Although the levels are a bit too big. I do agree with NerdCube's criticism regarding that game, that the levels can be a little bit dickish in terms of their design and how big they are, and this game actually has that problem to a certain extent as well. There was a level I had to do, I spent like half an hour on it or more, just on a single section of that level. You know, and it was the hardest part. The part right after it was piss easy, you know? But just that one section was just like the fucking worst. Because there was just glass everywhere and you were so exposed, you know? Like here, I'm just being shit, and I'm just gonna blame it on the fact that I'm recording. In reality, it's just because I'm shit. But if I were not that shit, I would actually be able to play through this quite easily, in fact, because it's fairly well designed. You know, there's not too many sections where you're fully exposed. You get pretty good visibility of all the different areas. You can walk in and... Oh, okay. How are we going to do this? Because I really want to take this guy out with the gun, because the guys with the guns are the biggest threats. Unless I can do that and take both of them out, and of course I get shot by the dude with the other gun from the other room because they can hear me. So how about we go for a stealthier approach? Let's take the crowbar, bash this guy's face in, go over here, bash both of these guys' faces in. Don't get killed by anyone else. There you go. Kill the dog. The only game where I don't feel bad about hurting a dog, and... God damn it. Of course. It's really interesting, actually, how video games contextualize the murder of certain kinds of animals in a way that really doesn't make you feel bad about it at all. Because typically it's like, you know, dogs are sacred in any kind of media. It's like, you know, kill a million people, who cares? But one dog gets slightly hurt, oh no, and it's because they're precious, alright? And I'm not even that much of a dog person, to be honest. Like, I have a dog, but it's not actually mine, it's just my family's. But, you know, it's cute enough, I guess. But in this game, you fucking hate dogs, right? You want them all to die because they're contextualized in this way where it's like they just murder you on sight. And so you naturally grow to hate this particular sprite right here of this dog. It's only like 4 frames of animation, but you hate it. You want it to die a horrible death. So what you do is you open the door and you try not to get killed by the dude with the gun. There you go. And now we only have the easy dudes left. And I say that with zero confidence about... No, that's a bad idea. Get the crowbar back. There you go. And now we can just... Oh, what the... You idiot. Why did you just walk up to him like, hello, how are you doing? Alright. Go in, shoot that guy. They're going to run out. And they're going to be like, where did that... What was that noise? What game was that? I'm guessing that was from Metal Gear Solid, right? I've actually never played a Metal Gear game. They just don't seem like they'd be that fun, in my opinion. Not even just like, oh, because there are too many cutscenes. No. I mean, like, the gameplay itself just doesn't... I don't know. I'm not a fan of more overt stealth games. Like, this is fine, actually, because it's not a stealth game. It's an action game, but it does have that element of you want to be for fuck's sake. The dude taking a piss was blending in so well with the environment, and that is genuinely a thing, because the walls, look at the color of the walls, right? And look at the color of the dude's jackets. Like, they blend in really well, to be honest. Like, I sometimes genuinely have a hard time seeing them, which sounds more like a me problem, but I don't know, it is actually a concern. Okay, so there's a dude with a gun in there, so kill that guy, kill this dude. You kind of get into a rhythm with this stuff, and you can genuinely take everyone out very quickly if you know what you're doing. You just go like this. But again, as I mentioned earlier with the whole Sniper Elite comparison, you know, you are not the most effective killer in the world, you know? You turn quite slowly, and there's a bit of a delay between when you can shoot or when you can attack, you know? You're not some super soldier god guy. You actually have limitations, and that's what makes the game so interesting, because you want to work around those limitations to not get yourself fucking deaded, which happens a lot because I'm not great at this game. Take out the guy with the door, it's going to lure his friend over, kill his friend, and then lure him out with the gun, and kill the guy with the gun, and he's dead now. And okay, so we're going to have to get this. But that's what I'm talking about. I don't know, it's just all the different gimmicks of the second game. They're not inherently bad. I just don't want them in a game like this. I would rather just have the core gameplay carry it, because I feel like it's just that strong, you know? It's really interesting how this game actually is it's almost like an icon of the concept in my head of what the indie game even is. Because in my head, it's like the indie game is a game that clearly takes some level of inspiration from an old school level design mentality, but it's intrinsically modern. So this game, for example, it has these old school visuals, right? And it's set in the 80s, and it's very difficult. That's all old, but what's the new? Well, first of all, the buttery smooth controls, right? The fact that it's this fucking violent. I mean, sure, they had violent games back then, but it was usually restricted to very particular genres. This is very much like anyone can really play this, you know? And it's like this kind of game would not happen back then just because of the very, you know what it is? It's also the fact that there's no lives and you restart very quickly, right? Just like how, because you know, back in those days of games, you would have limited lives, limited continues, and they would be designed in that way intentionally because they were either originally on the arcade or they just wanted to be more difficult, so you'd be forced to spend more time on them, either because they want you to buy the game for full instead of renting it, or because they just want to justify the fact that you paid for it to begin with. You know, it's just gotta have more content. So instead of making a game actually long and content rich, they just make it really hard. And that's retained here, except it is content rich. Like, it has a lot of stuff to do. A really bizarre narrative. Let's just say that. I'm probably not gonna end up finishing this level. I'm just starting it because I'm still talking. But we're wrapping up the episode at this point. Trust me. But either way, and that's the thing I've noticed, it's very similar amongst a lot of indie games. They take elements of the past, and especially the difficulty, but they alleviate it in a way, let's just use this guy, that isn't like an easy way out. Like, they make it just very easy to restart. They just get rid of those arbitrary difficulty points, you know? Like, I've been playing this game called Cloud Built, and I imagine I'm probably going to start uploading the Let's Play of it, assuming it by now it's done. I mean, I haven't started recording it, to be fair. I've made all the thumbnails. But you might have already seen 1 or 2 episodes of it. Maybe, depending on when this goes up. But either way, it's a 3D platformer, and it's, again, a very interesting example where it feels old school, but it's also very modern, you know? So it has these smooth as butter controls, really great visuals, super far render distances, and the game came out like 2014, but it hasn't aged a day, you know, because of its art direction as well. It's kind of cel-shaded a little bit. I saw some people in the comments comparing it to or like the reviews, I guess, comparing it to Borderlands, and I was like, stop. Cel-shaded does not equal Borderlands. God damn it. But at the same time, so it has these modern qualities, and obviously it's, you know, 60 FPS, widescreen, all those things, and yet it feels old, but in a good way, as in It doesn't have a big open world with a million collectibles. It just has these linear platforming challenges, but with lots of different ways to get around them. You know, you're not restricted to one particular path. You can just make your own route, really, using the game's mechanics. It's a really, really fun 3D parkour platformer type game. And I highly recommend you check it out, actually. I think it's quite cheap on Steam, but get the original. There's also this one called Super Cloud Build, which was a kind of a remaster, sort of, like 3 years later in 2017, except it's not on Steam anymore. Like, it still has a page, but it's not available. And I guess that, you know, it's free real estate, but just get the original, man. The developers are still supporting it, you know? And, like, literally, it's more up-to-date now. It's actually, that's the definitive version, the original, weirdly enough, even though it's, you know, not billed as it, but it is. Are we done with this area? Oh yeah, I forgot. You have to kill these guys as well. Yeah, I don't know why. So let's see, we might end up facing a section where we want to end, because I don't know if I want to keep playing at this point. I think we're pretty much done with the episode, honestly. But at the same time, I also don't want to just leave it, you know, because I'm having a good time, to be honest, and I don't like leaving things kind of unfinished when there's clearly a way to finish them. I'm not talking about like when I did Cave Story, where that game is like super long and it kind of, well, it has an ending, but it feels like it never ends. You know what I mean? Where you just kind of got to keep playing through the different areas. There's no definitive stages. Here there's levels, right? So I kind of want to get to the end of this part as well, now that we've got into it, but at the same time, if I keep fucking dying, I might just call it a day. It's not that hard. I don't remember if this is the bullshit hard one, like if it gets to that point. Actually, wait, no, I distinctly remember is this the, yeah, no, this isn't the one. Basically, there's a level later on where you get attacked by I don't know if it's the FBI or something, like some squad of people, and you have, there's this laser pointer that tries to take you, it's a sniper, basically, that's trying to take you out, and it's really cool, really different. Again, I do like how every now and then the game switches it up, but just a tad bit. It's not like a totally different gameplay style, and I'm not, like, against the concept of that, it's just, I have my preferences. Oh, wait a second, I think I might know what's gonna happen. Look at that nice detail. It's actually floating around. That's cool. Can we take this guy out from here? No, and I just wasted a fuck ton of ammo. Well, at least he's dead, but what the hell do I do now? Throw that? Oh, okay, there we go. Knock them out. And stomp. Yes, okay, they're all dead. And now we just have to take out the dude on the toilet. Let's shoot the guy on the toilet. Chapter clear. Oh, nice. Chapter clear. Good. Okay. That means we can end the episode on a satisfying resolution. Although, again, this might be the part where that thing happens. Is it the part where it happens, or was I wrong and it's just a totally normal section of the game? Yeah, that's it. Cool. That was Hotline Miami. That was my impression of it, some of my opinions on some other things as well, as I usually go off topic. This has been another episode of Focus on B, the single-part video series where I take a look at a game that might not necessarily be great for a Let's Play, in my opinion, but it's still a really cool game, and I wanted to take a look at it. This has been Hotline Miami, and I'll see you guys next time.